QIntern, which was part of QIntern 21. This was project number 17 under Mr. Zeki Sesker, and it is mapping the landscape of quantum education. We liked all of the interns, and we decided to call this project Q Map, which basically the name, as the name suggests, we want to map all the possible resources on quantum education so that to make it accessible. And these are the team members I worked with. They were really cool people. And our mentor was Mr. Zeki Sesker. So I'm going to give you an overview. First, I'm going to talk about our initiative, then our work and the teams involved in this project. There were 4 teams and applications of this project, and finally the long-term plans. So the initiative, as the name suggests, QMAP, it goes like analyzing and collecting maximum resources, quantum computing, under a single cluster of data, so that people don't have to waste time going on other sites. For me, when I started learning, taking interest in this field, I needed resources, and I was going through websites and a lot of web pages, and it took about, it took about a lot of my time. So I spent more time in finding resources in the beginning than learning in this field. So yeah, that was actually my the reason why I decided to enroll into this project and help. I thought that my experience of finding resources and managing things will help this project. So yeah, that's why I enrolled in it. And most of the people there, they actually have the same reason to. Even other interns too have actually the same reason that why they enrolled into it. And the main things that we are collecting are courses, summer schools, and prerequisites. The second motive was helping people and connecting them with other people in the field. So the best way to learn things is not by books, not by courses, not by any other form available on the web, but it's talking to people. I learned more by talking to my friends in this field than actually going through the textbooks we have, any workshop we have. So yeah, another motive is to connect people via different communities. This is an initiative by QWorld, which is QMAP. So our initiative was pretty similar to QWorld. We want to elaborate on their mission of connecting to people with like introducing them to communities under a single domain so that they can just interact easily. They don't have to waste times. So the teams there were mainly 4 teams: the data and classification team, curriculum team, the journal team, and the website team. So the data team was mainly responsible for collecting and verifying data. It took up most of the time, like a lot of time. And the curriculum team were to process that raw data into something that may be presentable to the user and the user feels comfortable in doing in it. The journal academic team was creating content for the website and the YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about it in the later slides. And the website team was creating and debugging the website we created for this project. So the data team, we compiled all the resources under a single Google Sheet, and then we transferred it to the website. So the resources the type of resources we had were courses, summer schools, books, documents, prerequisites, non-technical introductions, simulators, communities, other sources. The 2 points I want to talk about here are prerequisites and non-technical introductions. You might be you see, in quantum computing, there are like a lot of prerequisites, linear algebra and others too. There's a long list, and you need to be familiar with. You have to have a grasp on it. If you don't, you might face some like serious problems, and you won't be able to do it if you aren't familiar with those prerequisites. So we created a separate section for all the prerequisites where we have like the YouTube channels that make videos about it, and courses on linear algebra, and other courses too. And the non-technical introductions are mainly blogs. Um, if you just use this term quantum computing in front of a bigger audience, most of them might be puzzled, and they will be like, okay, quantum computing is like one of the toughest things in the universe, but that's not actually true. The purpose of non-technical introductions was to present the audience a collection of resources which did not include any technical things, including related to quantum computing. It was just basic, simple English. It was a musician's perspective, it was a gamer's perspective, a developer's perspective, different perspectives. And most of them were from the Qiskit blog from Medium. Yeah. And the other two resources were simulators and communities. Simulators were for like the one you have, IBM Quantum Simulator, for making plotting things on the blogosphere. And for the communities, you have we have collected all the communities like Discord channels, Slack channels. You can just hop in any server or any place just to talk with people in the language you feel comfortable in. These are some snippets of the data we collected. And the curriculum team. The curriculum team, as I said before, their purpose was to process the data. The processing of data includes verifying the data that is it legit or not, and then filtering those resources. Like, we actually removed some of the resources because we didn't feel that these are like absolutely idle. There's no idle course on quantum computing out there. You just have to crawl through multiple web pages to form that base in quantum. There's no single page that will provide you with every piece of possible information you need as a beginner. Even the QBronze workshop you need a prerequisite, that is linear algebra and some of Python. So you cannot we don't have an idle course. That was another application of the project, that we need to bring all the resources together so we can satisfy the prerequisites of other courses, and then applicants can just hop into any other course they want. And the curriculum team also compiled a playlist on YouTube channel. I'll share every link we have in the end. This is a snippet of the YouTube channel we have. You can just search it up, Mapping the Landscape of Quantum Education. And we collected some playlists, and some playlists like by different organizations. There were some free courses on, there are a lot of free courses on YouTube about quantum computing. You can just go on to the save playlist and created playlist section, and you will find all the resources under one domain. You don't have to waste your time. The website team are mostly creating the website and debugging. This is a snippet of the website we have. These are the summer schools we collected. These are the courses. These courses are actually mostly in English. There were two courses from a different language too. And so you can we don't have enough resources in different language. It was really difficult to find it in a different language, which tells us that there's a need of quantum computing in different languages. But the QBronze workshop, depending on the location, you can have it in different languages. And the levels, there were mainly 3 levels: the basic, intermediate, and advanced levels. Basic levels are, as the name suggests, newbie friendly. And these are some other links. So there were some really good links. We weren't able to find a place for them, so we created it's like extra tools that will help you to keep a track of what's going on in the field right now. And this is the prerequisite sheet. So the journal academic team, they created content for the website and YouTube channel, and also one of the main things we have right now, formulated the long-term plans of the project, which I will discuss at the end. And on the right side of the screen, you see there's a pathway for beginners. If you are just learning Qiskit, and you can locate yourselves on the graph, and then this graph is not exactly accurate, but it actually helps out the general audience, most of the people, and it will give them a path, at least, not the destination, but just a path that, yeah, you can do this and you can discover new things. So they created a path for them. It will be available on the website soon. And the general academic team actually created a YouTube channel too, a YouTube video too. It was based on a research paper. It was created by Hamna, one of my colleagues. It was upon a research paper which was like dynamic software visualization of quantum algorithms with rainbow boxes. And the long-term plans of this project. So the first one is quantum rotten tomatoes. This was actually a term coined by the mentor of this project in the very beginning session we had, the first session, like the interview for our to get interviews for all interns. And as the names, I think you got it. The quantum rotten tomatoes, basically, you want to have a system of upvotes and downvotes and comment section on the website for each resource we have. So that, I mean, there are a lot of resources. So you can just click on any random, and I mean, to find the best resource, we need people to judge them that how do you find this resource, so that, and more the upvotes it get, the more the percentage, the more it will appear. Maybe for beginners courses, there's a very specific course recommended by maybe 98% of the population that uses that website. So it will be like on your recommended section. So it makes it, so it's just basically therefore to make it there to make your life easier. You don't have to scroll through every course on the website. The second one is keeping the site updated. The third one is YouTube videos and podcasts. We'll soon be doing some podcasts and podcast interviewing some people. We'll invite some people from to talk on different topics. And for the videos thing, the journal team will be creating new videos, just like the one I showed you. And simplifying content for the website, we'll keep doing that. We'll just like quantum rotten tomatoes. It's just a subset of the fourth point. And the last one is collaborating with different quantum communities. Like I said before, you learn more by talking to people rather than diving into books. Or I mean, books can be really helpful, but talking to people is something that will release that pressure of maybe I cannot do it. The applications of this project include saving time, connecting people with communities, and bridging the gap and supporting QWorld's initiative. The one I would like to talk about here is bridging the gap. So you see, when quantum computing started out, I mean, most people weren't familiar with it. Some people were getting really advanced in it. Even today, if you have participated in hackathons or events or something, there will be a certain section of people discussing some really high profile things. And there will be a certain section of people who will be absolutely newbie friendly. And the description of the event says this event is for everyone, if you're new to quantum computing or you're advanced with. So you see, the people who are advancing in it are just getting better and better, but the people who are new to it might feel lost at some point. So it has created an imaginary gap between them. The main motive of our project was to bridge that gap, so that, I mean, we don't want people to freak out looking at those terms. We want them to understand it. It's a process. It's not a one-day thing. Even when I first participated in my first hackathon, I was kind of annoyed because there were a lot of seniors and PhD students, and I did observe some, I mean, they were patronizing some of the juniors about some terms. So, I mean, yeah, that's actually, I mean, they were doing it in a fun way, but it might actually annoy some of them. Therefore, our main motive is to bridge that gap between the ones who are advancing in it and the ones who are absolutely new to it. If you have any questions, I'm open to questions right now, and you can just write me a mail. Thank you.